In a world where skateboard companies are popping up like weeds, and it seems like we have a new skate brand every week, it's absolutely refreshing to see something new emerge in one of the most difficult sectors of skateboard equipment manufacturing. The brainchild of the big pink man himself, Mike Sinclair, and his Slappy Trucks, crawled from the depths of necessity, providing features that somehow every other truck company was either lacking or considered a gimmick. Boasting a high grind clearance and no braking time, these trucks made such a splash in the skate community that their presence is undeniable now. It's officially been 1 full year since I purchased my very own pair of Slappy Trucks, and I just wanted to go over my honest opinion and experience on how they skate. I went with the 8.5 inverted hollow Kingpin and axle setup, and as far as light trucks go, these feel very solid like a normal truck, and I haven't had any bending or inner rust on either of the hollow points. As for the feel of the metal, I'd say they're heavily comparable to Independent or Venture in terms of the general texture of how the grind on cement or concrete feels below the feet. And the turning is very reminiscent of something you'd see in like Aces or Thunder, with a tight turn radius due to the truck dimensions. Which honestly makes sense, as Mike Sinclair himself said this truck is really a blend of multiple elements found across other companies. As for instant braking time, I can absolutely say that from the day I started riding them 1 year ago today, they have remained consistent in their turning ability and have had no squeaking or crack blowouts. One thing to note is how the bushings themselves definitely have worn down a hefty amount, yet have remained fairly intact, along with the pivot cups and the hanger point too. Normally I see cracking or splitting, but after a year, these bushings look more like a worn down eraser from the constant friction of turning more than anything else. Unfortunately, with all that constant turning, I did have an issue with the inverted Kingpin on one truck constantly loosening itself after about 6 to 8 months, and now I will say it never came off fully, and luckily I avoided possible moments of death a few times. Luckily the inner bolt stayed locked in very well, so it's kinda easy to guide back in. A simple easy fix for any rethreading issue is just some Teflon, which I double wrap to help thicken the threads of the Kingpin bolt and remain snug nice and tight. Besides the minor issues with one Kingpin, overall the truck is very well made, and the grind clearance is really no joke. I can say that for a fact that since I've made the switch to an inverted Kingpin, especially with Slappy Trucks, hanging up is just now a thing of the past. Whether on a ledge or pull coping, the Kingpin never touches the edge of any grinding surface, which is a huge benefit for long grinds in my opinions, like Feebles or Smiths. When it comes to Slappy Trucks, compared to other gimmicks in the past, I'd say these are on par with Indy and Thunder and fill a much more needed gap that the companies were missing out on. Handpicking some of the best features from various other designs, these are some of my most favorite trucks I've ridden, and the inverted Kingpin is such a game changer that I honestly don't think I could go back. However, after a year of skating, they can definitely use some maintenance, and although the OG bushings are good, I've opted to install new bushings and washers from Diamond Grind Co., known as Death Savers. Now these small bushings and larger washers act as a giant metal cup that help block the wheels from touching the board no matter how much you bend your trucks. The idea is that the hanger will touch the bottom of the washer and pinch before it comes in contact with the wheel, making wheel bite just a long forgotten nightmare. So here's to another year of skating these Slappys, and I'll keep you in touch with how these Death Savers hold up and if they're worth investing into. Overall, these trucks performed a lot better than I initially thought they would, and can honestly see myself sticking with this brand in the future, especially now that they've launched a forged baseplate version, making their lightest trucks even lighter. I'd say if you're looking for both a lightweight, durable truck that has a quick and tight turning ability, Slappy Trucks would be perfect for you. I've personally ridden a handful of other trucks in the past over my decade of skating, and these definitely feel very well produced and thought out. Hope you appreciated my opinions and taking an in-depth look at my 1 year review on Slappy inverted hollow trucks, and just how well they've held up over this past year of skating. Appreciate the view. Thanks for watching and stay pushing.